Hello everyone. The other day I came across a saying that is so annoying that has ever been said to me as an autistic person. I'll give you a moment to write in the comments what you think the phrase is. Oh, we're all a little bit autistic. I've heard that before so many times, and it doesn't get any less annoying, even though I've heard it multiple times. The basic understanding of this saying is that everyone has autistic traits, and the person who is saying this to you is trying to be relatable while failing miserably. They are also horribly wrong. For example, misophonia is something that is commonly related to people who have autism, but it's not an autistic trait on its own. I have a friend who is not autistic who has misophonia. You can have it with ADHD, or you can just have misophonia on its own. Some people have it after a brain operation or some form of brain injury. Just to clarify, misophonia is the fear of sound. It is different from people who have common sense hearing, who, if you put a siren up to their ear, they would flinch and scream and run away. That is a normal person. Now imagine that clicking a pen causes the same reaction. Chewing causes the same reaction. You can also have autistic people who have no problem with any sensory disorders, including misophonia. Also, what makes misophonia different from other hearing disorders is that it makes you want to stop the noise by any means. And that feeling will be there for 1 second and then it will be gone. You're talking to your friend, they fidget by clicking their pen on and off, and for that 1 second you're imagining a bow and arrow, and then they stop clicking the pen, but by that time your eye started twitching and you've had images in your head that if you were to do in real life, you would go to prison. You don't do it, and you wouldn't want to do it at any time, but at that point, the noise is so dreadful that is all you want to do. That doesn't mean that people who don't have autism and ADHD will not have this condition. It is commonly associated with us, but just remember that it's not the only trait. Another thing is sensory disorders in general. Some people find jumpers scratchy but tolerable. I have had to give up anything that is either not cotton, silk, or anything that is non-scratchy. Most of the time, people cannot buy clothes for me because if they buy something and it hurts my skin, which can also be a sign of fibromyalgia, then I won't be able to wear it. Again, you can have sensory disorders without being autistic. If you are an introvert, that doesn't make you autistic. It means you're introverted. However, a lot of people who are autistic are introverted because our behaviours are considered very weird and off and out of place. So we tend to be happy in our own space because making friends can be too hard. I'm sure you've even heard of the expression of friends adopting autistic people because we were too shy to go up to people, and that is the same with a lot of people. But again, not every shy person is autistic. Some people can be shy for reasons that are too illegal to put in this video. Also, the expression of saying that everyone is a little bit autistic is like me saying to Pete Gustin that everyone is a little bit blind because most of the population wears glasses. We even use the word spexy as a joke. How do you think Pete Gustin would feel if I said to him, everyone's a little bit blind? Because most of the population today wears glasses. This poor man cannot see a thing in front of him. He cannot control how much light comes into his eyes because his pupils do not work, and that is why he has to wear sunglasses to protect his eyes. He gets random headaches because when he goes outside or when he has to go to the shops, the lights are too bright, and due to the fact that his pupils do not dilate and shrink like they should, that's what the sunglasses are for. That is blindness. If you can still correct it with glasses and then see 20/20, you're not blind. Without my glasses, most things are blurry, but I can still tell where most things are and recognise things. I can also control my pupils so they dilate in the dark and shrink in the light. I will say that my balance is affected if I don't wear my glasses, and that's what I also had a service dog for, because he would help me when I couldn't see things. But no, we're not all a little bit blind, we're not all a little bit deaf, Another thing that is very annoying to hear is, you can't be autistic, you're a girl. Or, you can't be autistic, you can talk. Or, you can't be autistic, I've seen autistic people and you're not like them. Maybe the person you're talking to has mastered masking so well. Regarding the previous statements, girls can be autistic. It just comes up differently than boys. Autistic people can talk. Not everyone is Rain Man. Also, if you've met one autistic person, then you've met one autistic person. We're not all the same. Eminem is autistic. He is very different from me. The difference between me and him, though, is that his imaginary friend got an album all to himself, and mine was treated as weird for the entirety of my childhood. It can be infuriating if you are not autistic or don't have a debilitating illness, because I have also heard this regarding my arthritis that I've had since I was 7, and no one believed me because they said only old people had it, and then they were proven wrong. Funny, masking is a thing, but I can't really do it, so I just came across as the weird kid who you could tell something was up, but you probably can't spell the condition for the life of you at my age. So I was just treated as the weird kid and left to play by myself. But here is how you know whether or not you have, say, misophonia. Can you sit next to someone when they're chewing celery, cucumber, lettuce, etc.? If you are one of these amazing people who can do that, what thoughts go through your head? Are any of them illegal? I found a brilliant example of this when I came across a Dr. Phil episode about this woman who said that she loved her fiancé, but she found it hard interacting with him because he would chew really loudly and his jaw would pop during certain interactions with him, and that she could cope with the pigs outside in the yard. Dr. Phil labelled her as a brat and said that she was being silly, but I think Dr. Phil has forgotten one thing about science. If you shout right next to my ear, it is going to hurt a lot more than if you shout a few feet away. You're using the same volume, but if you are a few feet away from me, or you're not right by my ear, or you're sitting on the floor and I'm standing up and you shout, it will have a different effect than if you are right by my head. So, no, I don't think she was being silly. It's the reason I find it hard being around people. Even the pets knew that if they wanted to do something like itch themselves, they had to get off the bed and go and sit on the floor far away from me at the other end of the bedroom so that I didn't hear them as much. The volume of what they were doing did not change, but the distance from my ears did. Another thing about misophonia specifically is that sometimes one loud noise is better than 10 quiet ones. I can go out on the street, put my music on a relatively loud volume through my headphones and be perfectly fine with that because it's one noise and it's music. Whereas if I hear a pencil scratching, yawning, chewing and the like, even though it's quiet, it would jar me more than anything else. So remember, misophonia is not really about the volume. It's about irritating noises that most people can ignore, but we can't. Just keep this in mind. You could be an introvert while also being able to talk to people when you need to, and not say things that people get offended by, and be comfortable around you. You could have misophonia for a number of reasons, or another hearing condition. I will leave the DSM-5 in the link in the description in case anyone wishes to take the test to see if they are autistic. Autistic people can also have problems with coordination, including simple things like holding a pen or opening a bottle of water, and if you happen to be left-handed and autistic like myself, that may be overlooked. Please let me know in the comments what you think. If you're still here, then you're handsome, and you're beautiful, and you, well, I am speechless. I'll let you know next time I see you. Over to the pets. Hello all, this is Sylvie. If you liked what you saw, then subscribe for more. Hey everyone, my name's Bonju. If you enjoyed yourself, then give it a thumbs up and share it with all your friends. Hi everybody, I'm Jack, and if you had fun, then comment down below and let my mum know if you know any autistic people.